Jay Lethal, January's Black Wrestler of the Month, has spent 60 frustrating days in AEW, and it's time for a performance review.
I know you ain't just here lurking. Subscribe to Pro Wrestling Bits.
Professional wrestling great Jay Lethal, who was recently located after disappearing off of television for 32 days, has now spent over 60 days in AEW. And if you subscribe to this channel, the fact that all elite white people has completely dropped the ball on an elite black talent should come as no surprise. And for those of you who want to go there with Jay Lethal, you'd better also be willing to go here with Darby Allin, who remains beloved in AEW, controversy be damned. Funny who gets the benefit of the doubt when it comes to things like this, but I don't play that benefit of the doubt bullshit on this channel. I'd like to think AEW has done its due diligence in signing both Jay Lethal and Darby Allin, and until further notice, I'll continue to support both. So for those of you crying foul on Jay Lethal while looking the other way when it comes to Darby Allin, kindly go f*** yourself. Now, let's break down AEW's handling of Jay Lethal during his first 60 days, which is a standard timeline for an employee performance review. Also, just to be clear, this is not grading Jay Lethal's individual performance as much as it is grading AEW's handling of one of the top stars of the indies over the past decade. 60 days is more than enough of a sample size to grade an AEW star's progress. In his first 60 days, Adam Cole appeared on television 7 times as one of AEW's top stars and was undefeated in singles competition, going 4-0. He remains an AEW top star to this day, and deservedly so. In that same timeline, Bryan Danielson appeared on television 8 times and was also unbeaten in singles competition, going 6-0-1. Danielson is fresh off his second World Championship match in AEW, where he suffered his first loss to Hangman Adam Page. The criteria has been broken down into 3 categories. First will be win-loss record, particularly in singles competition. Next is booking. What kind of storylines, matches, and angles has AEW positioned Jay Lethal in? How effectively have they used Lethal on television, if at all? Finally, character development. How much promo time, vignettes, or any of AEW's unlimited storytelling devices has Jay Lethal truly benefited from? Let's start with wins and losses. At 3-1 in 2022, Jay Lethal's win-loss record looks great on paper, but it's an inflated number because all those wins came on a secondary YouTube show when nobody was watching. Since joining AEW in November, Lethal has wrestled sparingly on AEW TV, including a loss to Sammy Guevara in his debut. In fact, Jay Lethal has lost more matches in other promotions than the amount of matches he's even had on AEW TV. When Kenny Omega was set to do a job in AAA to Andrade, Tony Khan stepped in and said, no. But when it comes to Jay Lethal, it seems like he can't lose in enough promotions. Tony Khan is like, fuck it, you could beat Jay Lethal in New Japan, AAA, and ROH, who cares? Just have him back in time for AEW Dark. F. Let's talk about booking and how Jay Lethal is presented to AEW fans. Lethal's likely next match will be against Ricky Starks for the unsanctioned FTW Championship, which should tell you everything you need to know about where most black wrestlers stand in the AEW pecking order. 2 talented black men will be competing for a championship that doesn't count. So for those of you keeping score, when pressured to do more with black talent, AEW's response is to have them compete for a second-class citizens title? They might as well just have an all-black casino battle royale where the winner gets a participation trophy. Hopefully this translates to more TV time and Jay Lethal's first televised win in over 60 days with the company. Let's go with a D+. Now on to character development. Character development? Jada laugh. There is none. Black people cutting promos in AEW is about as rare as Trevor Lawrence throwing a touchdown pass in the NFL. Hire Byron Leftwich, you cowards. Jay Lethal has not been fleshed out as a character in AEW, and it's going to take more than a mixtape in February to effectively and individually tell long-term stories to AEW's audience when it comes to rare talents like Jay Lethal. Capital F. Jay Lethal has not only appeared to AEW's ROH alums, you can easily argue he's their superior. Yet in his first match, he was defined down as a punchy underdog veteran, a good hand who can elevate a young up-and-comer like Sammy Guevara. But Jay Lethal is too young for the Bobby Fish role. For Christ's sakes, he's 36, just 4 years older than Adam Cole, 2 years younger than Kenny Omega, 4 years younger than Bryan Danielson. There's a couple of elephants in this room. First of all, Jay Lethal is a black man. So statistically speaking, he was screwed the second he put pen to paper on an AEW contract. Pro wrestling is about cycles, and in its history, Many prominent pro wrestling companies have gone a lot of cycles with black wrestlers on the outside looking in. This is a case with AEW, which cycled Jay Lethal out of its television rotation after just one match, and as of this writing, there still is no follow-up about his bronze medal matchup against Ricky Starks. Also hurting Jay Lethal, AEW Favors WWE Guys. They're quietly running into the same problem that shoehorned TNA in that they're not taking enough risks on non-WWE wrestlers that people aren't used to seeing in the main event. There's a reason even AEW fans were chanting Royal Rumble at Cody Rhodes on Dynamite this week, because AEW is OD'd on WWE references due to its overindulgence on former WWE stars. Of course the fans are going to follow suit. Heckler see, heckler do. For a company that claims to love professional wrestling, Jay Lethal should be a no-brainer as a breakout star in AEW. It don't get any more pro wrestling than Ring of Honor, and Jay Lethal is the greatest ROH star of all time. Yet this man can't get TV time unless I call the authorities to report him as missing. Jay Lethal as a top star is a type of refreshing athlete that AEW champions on paper. He's a self-made wrestler who built a legendary legacy without WWE. He should be a poster child in AEW, but instead the only posters he's on with a three-letter acronym is APB. Quite frankly, Lethal is pro wrestling royalty. He'll give you a great match. People cheer for and react to him when he's on television. He'll even do a nice paltry number on TV the way any main eventer should. But he's only being pushed to a certain level because that's all pro wrestling is historically used to. Then it's back to AEW Dark with your brothers and sisters no matter how long you held the ROH World title. I can't help but wonder how Jay Lethal would be portrayed to AEW's audience if he was white. Lethal has a better resume than any of AEW's ROH alumni, yet instead of rolling out the red carpet the way they did for so many internet darlings, Jay Lethal has been made to walk barefoot on concrete. Lethal has more star power and charisma than both members of Red Dragon combined, yet somehow Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish get top billing over Lethal. That's because in addition to AEW's WWE bias, Red Dragon has the complexion for the protection. O'Reilly and Fish are legit internet darlings. Sadly, Jay Lethal is just an internet darkling. A good black hand, a second-class citizen in an industry that still cakes in racial bias for reasons both in and out of AEW's control. AEW has pushed the same undersized, technically sound Caucasian master of his craft at least 27 times. It's a rinse, wash, and repeat of a certain type of internet darling, and there's a reason they don't call them chocolate midgets. AEW's final grade for its handling of Jay Lethal is a solid D-, which stands for do better, minus.